So now that we have our giraffe and he's coming through the ceiling, we've got the mask. I added 4 layers here, layers. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Basically, when the giraffe hits the ceiling and goes to the mask, I want him to, I want, uh, I want there to be debris coming down. So I'm going to take my pad, my Wake Home tablet, and we're going to just make chunks of debris. And I've got 4 of them right now. I think that'll be okay. Um, so I'm going to have them coming from, whoops. I want it to be right when, by the way, I go back and forth here by the comma and the period will have you go back and forth and toggle between frames. So about, I don't know, I kind of like it there. So right as he's going through, and we'll just do this. And I'm going to put a different one here. And then maybe a few later, we'll have more. And we'll see how this looks. And I might just need these 4 layers. So this is not going to last long. We're going to just go to 60. 63, and we'll go here to 73. That's fine. Whatever. So I'm going to have, well, first off, I need to color them in. And I'm going to take the color of the ceiling, and we'll just color them in like that. Okay. So this one has, we're going to have it and go like that. These are way too long. Sometimes, actually, let's stagger it a little bit, and I'll show you why in a minute. I'm going to have this one fall down like that. We're going to keyframe those, and I'll have this one fall down there, and this one fall down here. And the reason I want to stagger it, I could even do this a little bit. Okay. This will give it a more organic feeling. And I didn't really want this to happen for too long, but about a second, a little longer than a second, is about right. So we'll do, okay. So what does this look like? We're going to start in the therapist's office. And then I really like that. It does happen a little quick. But I think that's fine. And the one thing is I want, as all the debris is coming down, I want the worker's mouth to flip upside down. So I'm going to keyframe it. Oh, that's his mouth. And I'm going to move my pivotal point to the center. And actually, looking at his mouth, I don't know. It will work. There is a tongue in there, but we're so far out that I'm not that concerned. If I was spending a lot of time on this, I would probably change that. But this is what we got right now. And I like it. Okay. So that is the first scene. I'm going to get rid of a lot more of this squirrel in therapist office. So let's see. I have 2 more scenes that are going to be like this. And they're probably going to be about 2 or 3 seconds each. Let's just say 3. So that's about 67, like 70 frames. So I've got it at 90. So we'll probably want to delete to about 150, 160. It doesn't have to be exact because I don't really know. Again, if you're doing this if you're a real animator and you've got a team and things are down to the frame, you're not going to be as laissez-faire as I am about this. But since I am not, since I work alone and I work at my own pace, I'm going to do this my way. Okay, and then I can get rid of everything. I mean, most of my animations are not over 400 frames, so usually deleting it till about that is good. And then I'm going to want to do the same with the mask. So we'll take the mask out. I didn't have to go too far for that one. So now we're ready for another scene. And I have a river scene. I have two river scenes. This one is a lot older than this one, so I'm going to take my more new one. And it's not going to be in the all, which is fine. I'm going to take this off. I thought I had a tree in the forefront, but I don't. That's okay. So from the fast food scene forward, we're going to get rid of that. And I did something funky here. I'm just going to leave it because it's going to be off frame anyways. I'm going to go into my objects. I'm going to look for a tree. I don't want an apple tree. I've got a bunch of trees. I don't need a Christmas tree. Tree and apples. Tree stump. I actually really like the tree stump, but I don't think that's right for this. So, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal this tree. I'm going to put another layer in here. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to steal this tree. And I'm just going to take everything with it. And we're going to go basically to more or less the mask. I am going to move my giraffe. It's fine. So we're going to call this tree. I'm going to plop it right in here. And as you can see, it took a lot with it, which we don't need all this. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete everything that we don't need. I just want that tree. And I'm going to blow it up. And continue deleting a bunch of stuff. And I want to move it a little bit over this way. So the whole point is that the giraffe is going to be hiding from a lion in this tree. So, oh, and I need to make it longer. It's not going to be any more than 100 frames. And once again, I'm going to key the giraffe there. And I'm going to key the giraffe there so it looks like it's hiding. Now I know I have a lion face. Question is, I have a few, and I'm pretty sure this is an old one. I'm just going to put him right here. Do I have a better lion face? I kind of think I might. Lion hands, lion face, lion cute. I definitely don't want a lion cute. Oh, a lion profile. What does that look like? Oh, no, that's too cute. I think that first one. This first one, I think, is where I want to go. And so this one I originally drew for... I don't like his mouth the way it is. What is going on with it? There we go. Okay. And then I hate these keyframes. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. So I originally drew this lion for a game of poker. So that's why he looks a little kind of cutesy. But I think he's scary enough that this will work for our purposes. And then I'm going to extend this because I see that it's going to change. So we'll go to 193 too. And I don't want him smiling so much. And I want his eyes. I want him to just look mean. So is what I did is, even though I have keyframes, I deleted the drawing on the keyframes by selecting the drawing and deleting it. So at this point, what I might do is Google what a angry or a hungry lion might look like. These are all kind of cutesy, which is fine. Cutesy is fine. All right, I got an idea of what I want to do. So with my Wacom tablet, I'm going to go ahead and draw this in. And my drawings are rarely perfect. I want to give him fangs. I actually prefer a little imperfection. If I were to work in an animation studio, I know that they would expect a lot more perfection from me than I expect from myself. That's fine. All right. I want to make his mouth black and his teeth white. Let's see what this looks like. He looks a little bit more silly than I expected. But you know what? I got an idea. Okay. Let's take, oh, I don't want the tree. I just want the lion. I'm going to put him here. So he's going to be, another idea I just had was to actually have him facing the other way, and then I don't have to look. Well, this is okay. So actually, I know what I'm going to do. So he is going to be facing, and I'm going to have his mouth get a little bit bigger over a little less than a second. And I want his eyes to get, I want them to shift and get bigger. So we're going to start by animating. We'll just animate one at a time. So I want him to get bigger. I didn't quite have the same focal point, but then I want him to kind of turn this way. So he's looking at the giraffe. And the giraffe, on the other hand, is going to be moving back and forth a little bit. He's going to be trying to hide. So he's going to be going this way. He's going to be coming this way. He's going to be coming this way. It's just basically hard for him to hide. All right, let's see how this scene looks and how it looks next to this one. Okay, I like it, but I want the giraffe to be moving around a lot more. So we're going to do, I'll put some movement ahead of time, a little bit behind. I'll probably end it about, well, let's see what a good time looks like. So one way that I do timing is I'll press play, and when it feels like it's a little long, I'll hit pause, and that's about when I want to end. So about 122, 125, I think we're good with this scene. So these other bobbings, it might go a little bit longer. I do have a tendency to go to go too quick. And I have found that slowing things down has been better, and I still could work on that quite a bit, but I do make an effort to slow things down. So I'm going to make it just a little bit longer than I would have otherwise. All right, we're done with the lion and the tree, so let's get rid of that. We're done with the river, so we'll get rid of that. We're actually done pretty much forever, so we'll just go way ahead of time. And then the final scene before we go back to the therapist's office is in a convertible. So I've got this great desert scene. So I'm going to go back into my scenes. I'll look for the desert. So I have two desert scenes. I have an Arabian desert scene and an American desert scene. The American desert scene I did a long time ago, and so it's just called the desert scene. And then my Arabian one is on the newer side, and so I'm not going to have my tumbleweed. I'm going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of all of this ahead of time, so that when our giraffe lands, and you can't see my desert, but that's not where I want him to be. I want the road to be about here when we start. So I just moved the whole drawing over. And I need my convertible, and I need my convertible to be on top of my giraffe. And one thing that I'm not going through, and part of the reason why I'm not, is there is a way to move layers in front and behind and animate that. But I find that gets really messy really quick. And so unless I absolutely can't figure out a better way to do something with that, then I'll use that. But and I try and be really clean and very specific on it. A lot of my animations are not very clean and specific, but that's like the one thing that I will try and be very specific on. So I also have a convertible car, and I want my giraffe to be in it. So I'm going to put it ahead of my giraffe. We're starting the desert scene here. So I want my convertible car. And it's a little funny. Looking at some of my old drawings. So the reason why this one has a gas cap is the whole point was that someone was pumping gas. And so that's why I have a gas cap layer on that. But in this case, the giraffe will not be pumping gas. So I'm going to put it off to the side here. And I want to put the giraffe in it. So we're going to put a key on the giraffe there and take a key here, and let's shrink this giraffe down. And I'm not sure if I've been very specific about where this is. And so at this point, I'm not changing it. I'll put him in the car. Really don't want his little leggies to show. So let's see, what's the best way to do this? I don't want his legs to show. I might make him a little smaller and make his head a little longer. Make him, actually, I could shrink him that way, and then I'm going to do this and make his head longer. So, next part. I really want this giraffe to be flying down the road. So, in order to do that, I'm going to have the convertible and the giraffe enter the scene. And I'm not even going to do it immediately. I'm probably going to do it about a quarter of a second in. Which is about 6 frames. But I did 7. It's fine. So then I'm going to have it enter. And this is where math can really make it very specific. I generally will do this just based on looks. but I'm going to have the giraffe enter with the car. That should be about even. Unless someone is looking at this with a fine tooth comb, that should be about right. Then, now that they're in the center, instead of moving the giraffe in the car, I'm going to move the road. So this is where the road is. And if I had really good math, I would figure out exactly, I need to get rid of this therapist office and this little therapist. And you know what? Now's a really good time to kind of figure out how long I'm going to have this next piece. Because if I'm going to have this next piece in just a short amount of time, I might get close to it on this. So I'm probably only going to have it for maybe another second. So I'm going to take that piece and clip it to about 180. And so let's move the road. So I'm going to move the road this way. And I kind of know that it's going to end. So we're just going to end it there. And then the rest of this way, the car and the giraffe is going to exit. So let's see what that looks like. Block it off. And we'll do the transition and everything. All right, perfect. And then I'm going to transition into that. I might actually give it another minute, or another few frames. Transition's a little quick, but that's okay. All right. Now I want that head again to bobble, and I can just, and it doesn't have to happen right away because we don't see the giraffe's head until here. So maybe that frame right when it's out. And it is just going to do this. So now I can copy and paste it. The whole way it's bobbing. And it's still going to be bobbing when it's out of. And then we're going to end up at the therapist's office. And that, again, is an all. So I'm going to key the last frame of the desert scene. And then I'm going to take the office scene. And you know what? One of the reasons I didn't want to show the office to begin with is I wanted to frame it this way. So I actually might come in a little bit and show more of the office so that it's not so much. You can still see the desert behind, but that's fine. And I got to move my giraffe and I got to put him back exactly where he was. So we're going to take the easiest way to do this is going to take the giraffe all. Oh, I need him a little bit off because he comes bumping right back in. Okay. So we're going to key all this. This is the easiest way to do this. Key it as it is. And then we're going to go right back here. We're going to copy. And we're going to paste. And now he's right exactly where we left him on that chair. But now we're zoomed out. We can actually see his face now. His arm's a little high. I might take his arm down. His arm doesn't need to be up like that. So in my last, let's see, we're at 180 frames. And I want his head back a little bit back too. I'm kind of going to change it. There's a few things I'm thinking of. Hmm. So you see my squirrel? That's my old squirrel. So there's a few things I'm thinking of, and I'm thinking I'm going to end the live now. Basically, the ending, I had it so that the squirrel says embrace your height, and the giraffe gets excited and bumps his head through the wall, and then the squirrel feels bad for him. The thing is, I don't really love this ending, and so I want to put a little bit more thought of it on it, and I don't want it to be live. So just stay tuned. I will be posting this very soon, probably within the next 24 hours. So come check in soon, and this will be all completed, and you'll be able to watch it on my shorts on YouTube. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.